Got another AMG video for you guys. This one's gonna be a little bit of everything, but to start, we got some issues. We got some problems with this thing. It's an AMG, what do you expect? I don't know. Just kidding, I've actually been really happy with this thing. My E55 really never gave me issues. This is hopefully just a minor issue, but an issue nonetheless. We gotta take care of it. So we got a check engine light in this thing, and I already know what it is, but I'm gonna scan it again, and we'll check it out. So let's get in there and see what's going on. All right, we just got the cheap scanner out here, my little scanner, because I really just want to pull the codes. So let's get in here, see what we got. There we go. So let me give you guys some background. We obviously finished the header install about a month ago, and the car's been great, sounds insane, absolutely love it. But a week or so after that, it threw a check engine light. I scanned it, it was for the thermostat. I didn't really notice it until it threw the check engine light, but then I started noticing that the car really was not coming up to temperature fast enough or to its full temperature at all, which probably indicates that the thermostat is stuck open. So yeah, pulled the code, and coolant thermostat, temperature below thermostat regulating temperature, P0128. These ones, however, are new. And I was driving home from work on Friday, and the car kind of started running like crap under partial throttle, so I'm not surprised to see O2 sensor codes here. I'm wondering if maybe because it's been running in closed loop for so long that it's kind of, maybe it's fouled those sensors, who knows. So anyways, we got some codes here. We definitely need to replace the thermostat. I'll just check everything underneath, make sure everything looks good. I haven't touched it since we did the headers. This is my daily driver. I've been driving it every day since I finished the headers, so let's get this thing up in the air. We're gonna have to drain the coolant to get at the thermostat, get that thing out. Then maybe we'll clear the codes after we make note of them and see if they come back. But for now, let's tackle that thermostat. And don't worry, we got some mods coming in this video too. This video is gonna jump around a little bit. The mods that we're gonna install in this video actually aren't here yet. So we might be doing that in a week or two, but for you guys, it'll be a couple minutes from now. For now, let's take care of the maintenance stuff first, make sure this thing is top notch, and then we'll get into the fun stuff. Well, that was pretty easy. Just drained the coolant, just kind of swung the power steering reservoir up and out of the way. It's just 1 bolt and a little bracket holding it in. This is your thermostat hose. I probably should have replaced this O-ring, but I don't have it right now, and it's easy enough to get to. I think this will be fine, but I should have done that too. I didn't know that, you know, this thing was really there anyways, but we'll put the new thermostat back in, which is over here. Obviously went with an OEM Mercedes part, as is tradition on this thing. Stamped AMG, got this from the local dealership. Yeah, should be a reverse of install. Fill the coolant back up. I don't think I'm gonna get out my coolant bleeder this time. I think that this motor is notorious for just driving it and the coolant system bleeds itself. If I have problems, then I'll get it out. But I think I'm just gonna fill it up, drive it, top off the coolant as needed, and we'll go from there. But for now, let's get this thing in, clear the codes, and see what happens. well, that was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. Total time, maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20, we'll call it 20 minutes. But the thermostat's back in, everything's all back together up here. Coolant's in, I got all the under trays under the car. Also tried to clean the O2 sensors with some carburetor cleaner. Not really recommended, you're really just supposed to replace O2 sensors. I really don't know if there's a problem with them or not yet. We'll see. I think I'm gonna clear the codes, we'll fire this thing up, make sure the cooling system's bled, and take it down the road and see how it drives. If I need to order O2 sensors, that's not a big deal. They're easy to bolt in, but thermostat, done. But let's get in there, clear those codes. All right, codes are cleared. I wouldn't be surprised if the O2 codes come back. We might have fouled the O2 sensors by running it probably rich, because the car was running basically cold all the time. But we'll see. It's dark out now, so we'll take it for a ride tomorrow, see how she runs, and see if we can move on to the mods, or if we need to go do some more maintenance. Well guys, it's a few days later, and as the B-roll footage showed, check engine light came right back like a day after we finished the thermostat. Good news is thermostat works perfectly, car comes right up to temp just like it's supposed to. Bad news is we got another check engine light for what I believe is going to be the O2 sensors. So we got our code reader hooked up, and boom, what do you know, same two codes we had before, bank 1, sensor 1. So that's obviously going to be our upstream O2 sensor, since we no longer have downstream O2 sensors. So I ordered up 2 new ones, so let's toss those in. So here's the new O2 sensors, Bosch OEM 17019. I believe they're the same driver and passenger. Car's only throwing the code for bank 1, which I believe is the driver's side, but I mean, the car's got, what, 60,000 miles on it, and it's 13 years old at this point. O2 sensors are basically a wear item. It's probably time to replace both of them at the same time. O'Reilly's had these at my door the next day. Normally I'd order something like this from FCP Euro for the warranty, but I think O'Reilly's has a 1-year warranty as well, which should be fine if there's going to be a problem with these things. So Bosch O2 sensors, 8mm, get to those Mercedes under trays there. I think we just need to remove the rearmost one, snip out the old O2 sensors, and then zip ties to get them back in. Alright, well that's done. Only took a couple of minutes. 2 brand new O2 sensors. I'm going to clear the code, drive this thing for a couple days, make sure everything's all good. And next time I see you guys, we'll be doing some mods. I'm still waiting on one of them. It's coming from overseas. But for at least you guys, it'll be a few minutes. We're doing mods. Also, a quick tip for you DIY guys. I like to use the original maintenance booklet when I'm doing my own maintenance to keep track of this kind of stuff. You can see here I kept track of when we did the adjuster plates, timing cover gaskets, all that good stuff, head bolts, mileage, date, oil change, then the headers, and now just most recently the thermostat and upstream O2 sensors. Save your receipts as well. You can tuck that all in here. Good for you to keep track. And then when you go to sell the car and the next guy says, especially with a European car, do you have maintenance records? Now you do. All right, guys, it's been a couple weeks. The car has been running absolutely perfect with the brand new O2 sensors. Yeah, I've been daily driving it as usual, and it has been absolutely perfect. So in those couple weeks, we got the mods that I was talking about. So this first one I'm gonna start with, unfortunately, we might not be able to install in this video, but let me show you what it is. So this is a catch can kit from 63 Motorsports. These are the same guys that provided me with those cam adjuster lock plates that have been working out fantastically. They're up in Canada. Customer service is second to none. These guys answer me on weekends. They even sent me this just to try out for the W212 chassis. This particular kit they've developed around the C-Class, or the C63, so the W204 chassis, and they're looking to develop it for the W212. I think, as I mentioned in a previous video, this car with this motor is kind of rare. The W212 E-Class only came with the M156 in 2010 and 2011. So this engine and chassis setup is kind of rare. As such, the guys up at 63 Motorsports haven't been able to find someone to develop it. So they saw my video with the adjuster plates, reached out and said, hey, can you help us with this? So I've been more than happy to work with those guys. But basically today I did some test fitments. Not really sure where I'm going to mount this, not sure if I have the right fittings, so I'm still kind of going back and forth with them, but I think we'll get it sorted and I'll probably install it in a later video, but we'll see. Maybe we'll circle back. But either way, beautiful billet aluminum catch can, got their logo up there, 63 Motorsports on the side. This unscrews in the middle so you can empty it. Some PTFE AN line. This is probably -8, I think. Obviously all the fittings you'll need. These are going to adapt to the intake manifold, custom bracket, ARP hardware, and they even threw in a keychain for me. Beautiful kit, so I'm really hoping we get to install this. I was hoping to do it this video, but we'll see. If I can get this to work, any of you other guys with the W212 chassis and the M156, I got you. I got you. So put that on the back burner for a moment. Let's move to the next mod I got. We're moving into the interior. So excuse the, dirt on the floor mats there. Again, this is my daily driver. Anyways, absolutely love the interior in this car. All black, ash wood grain trim, brushed stainless, everything, just absolutely beautiful interior. The one thing that I've never liked is right here, the steering wheel. I don't know what Mercedes was thinking. The steering wheel on my E55 was almost identical, and it's just got these weird, 4 spokes. This just ugly 4-spoke design. It's got decent leather on it. I like the stainless paddle shifters, but I've never been a fan of this 4-spoke design. It's just ugly and not all that sporty to me. So I started looking around at, some potential options. There's a whole bunch out there, but I wanted something that was a little bit more sporty, but still classy, and it's here. The reason that it took so long for it to come in is that I ordered it on eBay, then sent it overseas to Europe to have a custom leather wrap done on it. And it came out absolutely perfect. So without further ado, let's go get the steering wheel and all the other accessories that I got for it unboxed, and I can show you what we got. Shoo! So here's my new steering wheel. So this is, I believe, what's called the AMG Sport wheel. Obviously, it's now a 3-spoke, or, you know, I guess technically it's 4, but, you know, 3-spoke design instead of the kind of angled out on either side. So this was from like a 2012 E350, I believe, with the sport package. So I don't think you could get this 3-spoke design in a 2010. They all came with that god-awful 4-spoke thing. So I got this about 2 months ago, right off eBay, with the airbag, I think for like 250 bucks. Most people were selling just the wheel for like 250, and then you had to buy the airbag for like 350 or 400. So I got all of this for 250. Wheel was in good shape and it was fine, but I wanted something a little bit more, you know, extra. And so what I did is I sent this off to Europe to Redline Goods. These guys did a steering wheel for me, you know, 4 or 5 years ago for my Harley F350. You know, custom stitching, couple different colors, came out awesome, and this wheel is no exception. Perforated leather around the thumb grips, nice thick Italian leather up here with the little stripe. I opted for what I called silver or titanium stitching, nothing too out of control. And then same thing, smooth leather down the bottom. Just a really classy looking wheel. You know, and if you look on eBay, there's so many different options. There's everything from stock wheels to carbon fiber with, you know, LED flashing lights and shift lights and RPM readouts and nitrous buttons and 17 different colors of stitching. Stop it. This is an E-Class. It's the same car the old lady down the street takes to hot yoga once a week. It's just a, you know, luxury sedan. So me personally, I didn't want anything crazy like that. I just wanted something that looked better than the 4-spoke, was a little bit sportier, that had a couple subtle custom touches, and I think we really nailed it here. Looks awesome. Wheel came out great. The wrap itself, I think Redline Goods was going to charge me like $250 to do all this. But because I'm the first one to send them this sport wheel right here, no one has ever done it before. I think once I send them this picture, they're going to take off like 150 bucks. So we'll call it 100 bucks for this. And then another thing I wanted to add was, one thing that they mentioned in the eBay ad was the chrome is peeling on this part here, which is extremely common on these. Any of you Mercedes guys will know about this if you have this style wheel. Honestly, not a big deal. You probably never see that since it's on the bottom and the wheel's basically like this in the car. But not only that, it just says airbag down here, which is fine. You know, good to know we got an airbag. But if you look on some of the sportier wheels, they come with this guy. It says AMG. You'd think you'd be able to buy just this piece, but instead I had to buy this whole piece for 150 bucks. But, you know, it's a genuine Mercedes part, and this should just pop right in right here. So again, another subtle little touch that we can add in that AMG there. So all that being said, we got to start installing this wheel because it's not exactly going to be a plug and play per se. It will be at the end, but we got a couple little things we got to do before we can do that. There's also a couple parts that I'd like to carry over from my old wheel. So let's get right to work. Let's disconnect the battery, get the old steering wheel out, and I can start taking some of it apart and show you guys what I mean. But man, I cannot wait to get this wheel in. It's gonna look so sick. Just really excited to get in there. So let's get to work. morning. Next day here, guys. Made some progress last night. Got the stock steering wheel out, airbag off. It's like a big hex bolt that basically holds it in. That's pretty much it. It pops right off. You undo the electrical connector and the airbag connector, which both run through here. No big deal. And we got our other wheel ready to go. I even, just for fun, quickly painted the original trim black just to see what it would look like. And honestly, I think it's going to look better with the brushed, it adds a little bit of accent, but I just kind of wanted to see how it looks. Let me know what you guys think. I could always go with this one, but I really think right now the brushed AMG one's going to look nice. Anyways, this is not exactly a direct swap. Well, it kind of is, but I think we need to do some electrical work. And the reason is my car came with active lane assist. So when you go over the double yellow or white line, it jiggles the steering wheel. And that's done with this motor right here, which basically has a unbalanced weight at the end, and it spins it around and it jiggles the steering wheel. I did not know when I bought this wheel that it was not a lane assist wheel. So you can see here the lane assist motors in this spoke right here. The lane assist motor on this wheel would actually go down here, I found out. So I was able to order one. That can go right there, and then you run the wiring up to here. But the plug is not there. Basically, this lane assist motor plug is not on that circuit board. So I think what we need to do is take this, these screws apart. I think, I'm not sure, we're gonna find out together, but I think that I can swap the circuit board from this internal unit here over to here, so that basically I have all the same original plugs that I would have had with this wheel. And you'll notice they're way different shapes here. So like this would never fit right here, but I think once I get this whole thing out, the board, like the circuit board itself, is gonna be the same. So I can just swap the circuit board. Then also we need to get these plugged back in, and I'll find some hardware to secure this down here. And then I think we should be good to go. Oh yeah, one more thing that I actually do like on my old wheel better than the new wheel. So again, this wheel is off like a E500 or E350 or something. It comes with these little plastic shift paddles, which is okay. Let me flip this over. My E63 comes with these super nice brushed stainless that actually say up and down as opposed to plus and minus. If you take a look, they look exactly the same on the back as far as where they mount. So I'm pretty sure that I can swap my nice brushed looking big shifter paddles over to this one. So that's one other thing I'd like to swap. So yeah, long story short, got to swap a bunch of components over between these two. So let's get to work swapping this stuff and see if we can't get this thing ready to go in the car. So here's what I'm talking about, guys. As I suspected, even though these things are totally different shapes, the circuit board inside has the same shape and the plug is the same. So I think that I can swap my lane assist board over to my non-lane assist, I don't know, packaging here, I guess, or module, and then vice versa if we wanted to reuse the old wheel for something else. But basically I'm gonna swap this board over here, put it all back together in here, swap over my nice shift paddles. We should be good to go. Made a mess, but we got this done. Had to do a little bit of modification to get my paddle shifters to fit. I really wanted these, and I think they really make this look a little bit more sporty, but I tried to show it in the video. The pads for these are kind of a triangle shape, and the older ones are a little bit more square. But with a little bit of clearancing, with a very sharp and very new box cutter, which was a little nerve-wracking on my brand new leather-wrapped wheel, but I was able to clearance the basically rubber behind here to get these to fit in there nicely. Now these are in there good. Looks awesome. Got all the electronics, got the circuit board swapped. That was no problem. I'm glad that went well. Got that all back together, back in here. Got all our connections made, including our lane assist motor, all our buttons, all our paddle shifters are plugged in. Everything's back together. We should be ready to pop this wheel on the car, pop in the airbag, which is basically just a snap design, and test it out. So I'm excited. Let's get this thing in the car, see how it looks. Shoo! This thing looks sick. I absolutely love this. Feels good, looks good. Love the little AMG touch down here. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if we got any errors or warning lights or anything like that. Airbag lights off. Wheel comes down. All the lights work, obviously. Volume works. Mute. That button works. I don't have my phone, or my phone's just now connecting, so looks like that works. This works. Everything works. Horn. Yep. All right, so the last thing we have to check is the paddle shifters and the lane assist. So let's get this thing outside, take it for a drive, see how this wheel feels, make sure there's no other errors, and call this done. This thing looks awesome. Psyched about this. I mean, this thing just looks perfect. I am so glad that I left this trim silver. It matches the rest of the silver in the interior perfectly. The paddles look great, the stitching looks great. This is exactly what I wanted. You know, something that says it's a little bit sportier. Got the AMG down here, flat bottom wheel, nice double diamond stitching, extra padding, a little stripe at the top. So nothing too crazy over the top, but still lets you know, this is an AMG and it's got a little bit sportier of a wheel. You know, to go from the original stock ugly wheel, looked like it was out of a 1990s Saturn, to something like this with very minimal modifications. A couple little things here and there, but it basically bolted in. Well worth it. Sounds cliche, but your steering wheel is your connection to the vehicle. So if you're not happy with that, you might not be happy with the entire interior. I love the rest of the interior. It's absolutely beautiful interior in this car. The steering wheel was the only thing, in my opinion, that was lacking, and I am in love with this thing. It feels awesome. Everything works so far. The only thing we still have to check is the shifters, the paddle shifters. So, all right, there we go. Just dropped into first gear. So that clearly works. Pull out. Grab second. Oh yeah. Third. Shoo! Woohoo! Man, I still love this exhaust. I gotta get some more exhaust clips for you guys for this car once spring gets around. I'm on my snow tires right now, so I can't really do anything crazy, but I mean, this thing sounds like a monster, which is why I couldn't have that other wheel. You know, this is not your average E-Class. It's gotta have something a little better. So, I mean, I love this car. I absolutely love this car, and I'm in love with this wheel now. So yeah, everything works. The only thing we still have to check, let me upshift all the way here. Everything works. The only thing we haven't checked is the lane assist. So let me get up to speed around this next corner, and we'll purposely go over the yellow line, and I'll see if I can feel it vibrating in the steering wheel. You guys might not be able to hear it. Like I said, it's just a subtle vibration in the wheel, but I should be able to. Oh yeah, she works. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but let's not hit this runner up here, but oh yeah, perfect. Everything works. We are good to go. Woo! Look at that. Absolutely perfect. Love it. Woo! It's windy and cold today. Well guys, I think that's gonna do it for this video. I am absolutely in love with the steering wheel. I'm absolutely in love with this car. I took care of some maintenance items. Car's running absolutely perfect. As I mentioned a couple times, I drive it every single day. Super comfortable, super fast, sounds incredible. Everything is just perfect. And now that I have the steering wheel done, I'm 100% happy with the interior as well. So, not quite done yet though. Once spring rolls around here in a week or two, I got some more stuff coming for this car. Got more stuff coming on the Camaro, Corvettes, maybe some new projects. You never know. So if you haven't already, subscribe, give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and hopefully see you in the next one.